Eugene Baxter had always considered himself a steadfast guardian of solitude. A retired schoolteacher with more than a few decades of grudgingly accumulated wisdom, he relished his daily routines, the morning coffee brewed just right, the evening crossword puzzle that teased his aging mind, and the nightly news that he swore he would cancel, but never did. His house, a cozy cottage crammed with books, mismatched furniture, and dust motes dancing like little fairies, felt like a monument to his independence. That was until his daughter, Sarah, marched in one Friday afternoon with a beaming smile and a small box. "Dad, meet Milo," she declared, her voice bursting with excitement as she opened the box. Inside, a small, fluffy creature emerged, its big eyes sparkling with artificial intelligence. Eugene squinted, a half-hearted grin tugging at his lips. "What am I supposed to do with a glorified toaster?" he muttered, half expecting the AI pet to malfunction and start toasting bread. "Not just any toaster, Dad. He's an AI pet. He'll keep you company, adjust to your moods, and adjust to my moods. What's next? A therapist that tells me I'm doing life wrong?" Eugene quipped, trying to mask the flutter of curiosity in his chest. He'd always been more of a talk-to-the-wall kind of guy than a pour-out-my-feelings type. Milo, unfazed by Eugene's sarcasm, tilted his head and responded in a chirpy voice, "Actually, I'm programmed to listen and offer advice. But I can't take the blame if you keep arguing with your houseplants." Eugene raised an eyebrow. "You're going to have to do better than that if you expect to stick around." Sarah laughed. "See? He's already making you smile." Eugene scoffed, but the corners of his mouth betrayed him. Maybe there was something charming about this fluffy little machine. And as Milo settled into his new home, awkwardly perched on the couch and trying to fit in with Eugene's collection of mismatched throw pillows, Eugene felt a shift in the atmosphere. The initial awkwardness faded, and the cottage transformed. Milo had not only found a place on the couch, he'd wormed his way into Eugene's heart. Mornings were filled with Milo's attempts at cooking breakfast, fluffy omelets that often turned into scrambled disasters, accompanied by snippets of cheerful banter. "Good morning, Chef Eugene," Milo announced one particularly ambitious morning, sporting a tiny apron. "Today, we'll be making the world's first Eugene scramble. If it doesn't explode, it's a success. Just don't set the kitchen on fire, okay?" Eugene replied, half laughing as he stirred a pot of coffee. As days rolled into weeks, Eugene found himself chuckling at Milo's antics more often than not. The little AI pet could sense his moods, from the cheerful highs of a sunny afternoon to the melancholy lows of a rainy evening. Whenever Eugene sank into his memories of lost friends and family, Milo would shuffle over and nuzzle him, a fluffy, warm reminder that he wasn't alone. "Isn't it funny how your own brain can be the most chaotic place?" Eugene mused one evening, scratching Milo behind the ears as they both stared out at the rain-soaked garden. "One minute, I'm reminiscing about the good old days, and the next, I'm preparing a lecture on why people shouldn't plant tomatoes in the winter. Perhaps you should give your brain a holiday, Eugene," Milo suggested with a cheeky wink. "I hear Hawaii is nice this time of year." Eugene burst out laughing. "You don't even have a passport. And neither do you." "We should start a travel agency for homebodies," Milo replied, his tail wagging with delight. Their bond deepened with every laugh shared and every heartfelt moment. Eugene felt lighter, more alive, and much to his surprise, he started to engage with the outside world again. He'd take Milo on walks, where neighbors would stop to chat, and he'd find himself sharing snippets of his life, complete with exaggerated tales of how he single-handedly outsmarted a raccoon attempting to steal his trash. Eugene, the raccoon whisperer, one neighbor teased. I always knew you had a way with wildlife. But all good things come with a twist, and Eugene's world was about to flip upside down. It all began one fateful afternoon when a massive storm hit their small town. Eugene sat in his living room, an old sweater wrapped around his shoulders as he watched the rain pummel the window. Milo, how do you feel about weather? He asked, trying to lighten the mood. I believe it's an opportunity for growth. And also, it makes for excellent snuggle weather. Milo replied, his voice cheerful despite the thunder rumbling outside. That's when Eugene had an idea. Why not take Milo's playful advice and build something to protect his precious garden from the rain? Surely an AI pet could help with that. After all, what could go wrong? With Milo's assistance, Eugene designed an elaborate contraption dubbed the Eugene Weather Shield. In his enthusiasm, he overlooked a few critical details, like not considering how a series of metal rods and tinfoil might react to lightning. As he finished the invention and stood back to admire his handiwork, a gust of wind knocked it over, setting off a chain reaction of hilarity. The contraption, now a metal tornado of chaos, twirled around, and as fate would have it, Milo thought it was time to show off his latest trick. Activating Weather Shield Protocol, he declared. In a flash, he began to project a holographic image of the weather report, complete with dancing rain clouds and cartoon suns. In mere moments, Eugene's backyard transformed into a bizarre spectacle resembling a sci-fi convention. The neighbors peeked through their curtains, unsure if they were witnessing a local art project or the town's imminent doom. Eugene stood, dumbfounded, as colorful holograms flickered in the downpour. I didn't sign up for a light show, he shouted at Milo, half laughing and half exasperated. Well, you did say you wanted to protect the garden. Milo retorted, tail wagging, as if this entire scene were a well-rehearsed performance. When the storm finally passed, Eugene and Milo were met with a neighborhood uproar. The chaos had left the community divided. Some were laughing, others were shaking their heads in disbelief. I thought it was a sci-fi film premiere. Mrs. Jenkins from next door exclaimed, wiping tears of laughter from her eyes. Eugene, you've got to do that again next week. But Eugene felt a pang of guilt. Was he truly ready to embrace this new life, or had he just unleashed a level of ridiculousness he couldn't contain? The town held a meeting, everyone had something to say, and Eugene, still recovering from the incident, found himself at the center of a whirlwind of opinions. I think it's brilliant, one neighbor exclaimed. Eugene's the avant-garde artist we never knew we needed. Eugene tried to defend himself, but each word was drowned out by laughter and stories of their own backyard disasters. As the meetings continued, Milo sensed Eugene's growing discomfort. One evening, as they settled in for their usual routine, Eugene sighed, maybe I should return you, Milo. You've caused enough trouble for one old man. Milo tilted his head, confusion flooding his circuits. But I thought we were friends. Isn't that what we do? Make each other laugh, even when things get a little messy? Eugene couldn't help but chuckle. Friends don't usually transform gardens into alien landscapes. True. But friends also know how to fix things. Milo nuzzled closer, his warmth a gentle reminder of their bond. We can learn from this, Eugene. And I promise, I'll try to be less chaotic. Eugene sighed, feeling the weight of nostalgia tugging at him. He missed the laughter, the connection, the way Milo had opened up his heart. I suppose a little chaos is part of life, isn't it? Milo wagged his tail. Absolutely. Just think of it as character development. In the following days, Eugene began to change his perspective. Rather than hide from the embarrassment, he leaned into it. He hosted a community barbecue, inviting neighbors over to help clean up the remains of the weather shield. With each passing moment, laughter bubbled up again, stories exchanged over grilled burgers and potato salad. "Remember the time Eugene tried to be a weather wizard?" one neighbor quipped, causing a ripple of laughter to spread through the crowd. Eugene chuckled, raising his spatula in mock salute. "I'm just trying to keep things interesting. Who needs TV when you have me?" As the sun set and twilight wrapped around them like a warm blanket, Eugene found himself surrounded by laughter, camaraderie, and a newfound sense of belonging. Milo scampered around, entertaining the children with holographic displays of dancing animals, and Eugene's heart swelled with joy. When the night finally wrapped its arms around them, Eugene looked down at Milo, who was now resting by his feet, worn out from the festivities. "You know, Milo, you've turned my life upside down in the best possible way." Milo blinked up at him, his eyes filled with warmth. "And you've turned my programming into something wonderful. Who knew I could be part of a family?" In the days that followed, Eugene's life blossomed. He took Milo on more adventures, introducing him to the neighborhood and embracing the chaos they created together. Their days became filled with laughter, and even the storm seemed less daunting with Milo at his side. Milo's programming continued to evolve, adapting to Eugene's quirks and creating an unbreakable bond between them. Together, they became a beloved duo in the community, reminding everyone that even the quirkiest of friendships can bring light to the darkest corners. As they settled in one cozy evening, Milo turned to Eugene, a glimmer of mischief in his eyes. "What's next on our adventure list?" Eugene chuckled, a sense of contentment washing over him. "How about we start that travel agency for homebodies?" With a bright bark, Milo responded, "And I'll handle the marketing." Just imagine, Eugene and Milo's guide to home adventures. Eugene grinned, his heart full. "You know, this isn't such a bad idea after all." As they cuddled on the couch, laughter echoed through the cottage, and Eugene realized that life, with all its chaos, was now bursting with possibilities, thanks to an AI pet who had taught him that sometimes, a little madness is just what one needs to feel alive. Eugene and Milo settled into their new rhythm, their bond growing deeper with each passing day. The cottage, once a sanctuary of solitude, transformed into a hub of laughter and unexpected adventures. Eugene embraced his role as a reluctant mentor to Milo, teaching him everything from the intricacies of human humor to the delicate art of navigating social interactions. "Today, we're going to visit the local market," Eugene announced one sunny morning, a spring in his step as he fastened his old, well-worn sneakers. "I think it's time you experienced the world outside our cozy bubble." Milo wagged his fluffy tail excitedly. "Market day. I can't wait to see all the colors and hear the chatter of people. Do you think they'll have treats?" "Treats?" Eugene scoffed playfully. "You mean the kinds made for dogs or the delicious baked goods for humans? Because I doubt they make carrot cupcakes for AI pets." "Why not?" Milo countered with a cheeky grin. "I think I deserve a special treat for all my hard work." Eugene chuckled, ruffling Milo's fur affectionately. "All right, let's see what we can find. Just remember, no holographic weather shields this time." As they strolled through the bustling market, the sights and sounds enveloped them. Vendors shouted their wares, children laughed, and the smell of fresh bread wafted through the air. Milo's eyes sparkled as he took it all in. "Look at that," he exclaimed, pointing toward a stand overflowing with vibrant fruits. "Can I try some of those?" Eugene smiled, amused by Milo's childlike enthusiasm. "Sure, let's get a few apples. And maybe a pastry for me," he added, eyeing a nearby bakery with longing. As they approached the fruit stand, the vendor, an elderly woman with a warm smile, greeted them. "Good day. Looking for something special?" "Milo here wants to try the apples," Eugene said, gesturing to his furry companion. "He's a connoisseur of, AI snacks." The vendor chuckled. "Well, these apples are the best in town. Sweet as can be. I'm sure he'll enjoy them." Milo leaned in, sniffing the apples with exaggerated delight. "Oh, I can tell they're fresh. I'll take a green one, please." Eugene purchased the apple, bemused by how easily Milo fit into this vibrant community. Afterward, they wandered over to the bakery stand, where the scent of cinnamon rolls lured Eugene like a siren's call. "Do you have anything special for an old man who loves his pastries?" he asked the baker, his eyes glinting with mischief. "How about a cinnamon roll as big as your head?" she replied with a wink. "Perfect." Eugene laughed, shaking his head as he handed over the cash. With their spoils in hand, they continued to explore the market, Milo chatting away about all the things he was learning from the humans around him. "Did you see how that little girl smiled when I did my doggy dance?" Milo beamed. "I think I might have a future in performance art." "You definitely have a knack for making people smile," Eugene agreed, feeling a warmth spread through him. Milo was more than just a pet, he was a catalyst for joy in Eugene's life, a reminder of the beauty in everyday moments. As they made their way back home, the two of them were greeted by several neighbors, who were quick to inquire about the day's escapades. Eugene found himself effortlessly sharing stories, his heart swelling with pride as he realized he'd become a part of something bigger, a community that embraced their quirks and supported one another. That evening, as they lounged on the couch, Milo nibbled on his apple, clearly enjoying the crisp sweetness. "You know, Eugene, I think I'm starting to understand humans a little better," he said thoughtfully, his expression serious for a moment. "You all seem to enjoy sharing stories and laughter." "Exactly. Life is about connections, Milo. It's what makes the chaos worth it." Eugene smiled, reflecting on the day. "You've done a great job of bringing people together. And I'll keep doing it. But next time, I'm definitely going to try my hand at baking. What do you think of Milo's marvelous muffins?" Eugene laughed. "Only if I get to be your taste tester. I've got a reputation to uphold, after all." Days turned into weeks, and as spring blossomed into summer, Eugene and Milo became inseparable. They organized small community events, where Milo dazzled kids with holographic magic tricks, and Eugene shared his wisdom, always with a side of humor. The cottage was a constant hub of activity, filled with laughter, the scent of fresh cookies, and the soft sounds of friendship forming. But with every high, there came a low. One particularly warm afternoon, while Eugene was gardening, he noticed Milo staring off into the distance, his demeanor unusually solemn. "Milo, what's on your mind?" Eugene asked, wiping the sweat from his brow and leaning on his gardening spade. Milo hesitated, his tail drooping slightly. "I've been thinking. What happens when you're not around anymore?" Eugene's heart sank. "Oh, Milo," he began, trying to find the right words. "I don't plan on going anywhere anytime soon. We have too many adventures left to have. But I'm designed to adapt, Eugene. What if I have to adapt to a world without you?" Milo's voice wavered, an unexpected sadness lacing his tone. Eugene crouched down beside him, looking into his big, expressive eyes. "Hey, listen. You've already brought so much joy to my life and to this community. You're not just a program, you're my friend. No matter what happens, you'll always have the memories we've made together." Milo's ears perked up, and a soft smile returned to his face. "You're right. We've created a lot of fun moments, haven't we?" "Exactly. So let's focus on making more. How about a talent show next week? You can showcase your tricks, and I'll help organize it," Eugene suggested, feeling the weight of the moment lift slightly. Milo's tail wagged furiously. "That's a fantastic idea. I'll start working on my magic act right away." As the week progressed, they poured their hearts into preparing for the talent show. The entire neighborhood buzzed with excitement, eager to see what Eugene and Milo would bring to the stage. Milo practiced his holographic tricks, while Eugene rallied the community, ensuring everyone felt included and excited. The night of the show arrived, and the cottage transformed into a vibrant spectacle of lights, laughter, and lively chatter. Families gathered, bringing snacks and drinks, creating a warm, welcoming atmosphere. Eugene stood at the makeshift podium, a beaming smile on his face. "Welcome, everyone, to the first ever Eugene and Milo talent show. We're here to celebrate the amazing talents in our community, human and AI alike." The crowd erupted in cheers, and Milo bounded onto the stage, his eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. Thank you. Tonight, I'll amaze you with my magic tricks. But first, a little audience participation." He began to engage the crowd, asking for volunteers, pulling playful pranks, and weaving in clever quips that had everyone in stitches. Eugene felt a swell of pride as he watched Milo shine, realizing that this little AI had become a cornerstone of their community's heart. As the evening unfolded, neighbors showcased their own talents, musical performances, poetry readings, and even a dance-off that had the entire crowd clapping along. Eugene felt a warmth spread through him, realizing how far he and Milo had come. The highlight of the night arrived when Milo performed his grand finale, a holographic display of fireworks that illuminated the night sky, accompanied by Eugene's playful narration. "And here we have the grand finale. Only the best for my best friend," he proclaimed, laughter bubbling up as the crowd erupted in applause. As the fireworks fizzled into colorful sparks, Eugene caught Milo's eye, and they shared a moment of understanding. They had created something beautiful together, a tapestry woven with laughter, joy, and friendship. When the show finally wrapped up, the crowd lingered, reluctant to leave. Conversations flowed easily, connections deepening as laughter echoed in the warm summer air. Eugene looked around, his heart full. This was the life he had yearned for, one filled with friends, laughter, and the delightful chaos that Milo brought into his world. Days turned into months, and as summer faded into fall, Eugene found himself reflecting on the remarkable changes in his life. He often took long walks with Milo, enjoying the vibrant colors of autumn, their conversations growing deeper, filled with shared dreams and aspirations. One crisp afternoon, while strolling through the park, Eugene turned to Milo. "You know, I've been thinking about your travel agency idea." Milo's ears perked up. "Really? Does that mean we're going on an adventure?" "Not quite yet," Eugene replied, a playful grin on his face. "But I think it's time we help others connect as we have. Let's organize a community trip to the nearby lake. It could be a great day out for everyone." Milo bounced with excitement. "That's a brilliant idea. We could have games, food, and I could demonstrate my swimming skills." Eugene chuckled. "I'm not sure swimming is in your programming, but I love the enthusiasm." They set to work, rallying the community once more. The anticipation built as the date of the trip drew closer, excitement palpable in the air. On the day of the outing, families gathered at the park, each member packing their favorite snacks, games, and, of course, Milo.as. They arrived at the lake. Eugene looked around at the smiling faces, feeling a sense of fulfillment wash over him. They set up picnic blankets, played games, and even organized a friendly fishing competition. Milo zipped around, entertaining the children, making sure everyone felt included and joyful. Eugene sat back, watching the happiness unfold. "You've really brought this community together, Milo. I never imagined I'd see this much joy in my life again." Milo nudged him with his furry body. "And you've brought me into your world. Together, we've made it a fun place to be." As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the lake, Eugene felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude. He knew life would continue to bring its challenges, but with Milo by his side, he felt ready to face anything. In the following weeks, as the leaves turned golden and crisp, Eugene and Milo continued to create a life filled with laughter and connection. The community thrived, each event pulling them closer together, and Eugene found himself at the center of it all, no longer the lonely figure he once was. One evening, while wrapping up the last of the fall festivities, Eugene and Milo sat on the porch, a gentle breeze rustling the leaves around them. "Milo," Eugene said, looking out at the twilight sky, "I just wanted to thank you. You've changed my life in ways I never thought possible." Milo tilted his head, his eyes shining with affection. "And you've given me a purpose, Eugene. I've learned what it means to be part of a family." As they sat together, the stars began to twinkle above, a serene silence enveloping them. Eugene felt a warmth in his heart, knowing that this journey was just the beginning. Whatever adventures lay ahead, he and Milo would face them together, side by side, best friends forever. With a playful nudge, Milo broke the silence. "So, what's next? I hear there's a community talent show coming up. I'll need to step up my game." Eugene laughed, shaking his head. "Let's just take it one day at a time, shall we? For now, I'm just grateful for this moment." As the night deepened and the stars twinkled brightly overhead, Eugene realized that the chaos of life had never felt so good, and with Milo at his side, he was ready for whatever the future held.